Hello everyone, welcome to Ikra Technology. In this video, we will learn how to transform your raw financial data into an interactive Power BI dashboard. We will learn how to create a receivable dashboard. So first, let's see what is receivable. Receivables means the company or the business receive the amount after selling a service or a product to customer. This is called receivables amount. So a receivable dashboard is a tool designed to help business monitor invoice means the bills and payments and overdue amounts. Overdue amounts means the amounts that exceed the due date. It provides insights into customer payment behavior, highlights overdue balance and categorizes receivable based on aging. This dashboard simplifies understanding who owes money, how much is owed, and when payments are due. So try it yourself to build this dashboard, and if you get any challenge, you can watch this video. So first you have to connect to this Excel dataset. You can click and download this dataset from here. So let's understand the dataset. Here we have this receivable data set. We have 5 tables here in this data set. Invoice header is the fact table in this data set. So invoice header has all the information about the invoice. We have customer number, salesperson. We have invoice ID, invoice number. Invoice ID is the unique bill ID for every customer. This is the customer ID. Customer name, invoice type, invoice due date. The invoice amount means the bill. Due amount is the amount remaining to pay over days. Customer number, salesperson. Invoice status means the invoice is paid or pending. And here are some more columns. Next we have the customer table, which has the information about the customer, customer ID, customer name, and the customer number. We have invoice line table. This table gives the details of each item or service sold to the customer. In the invoice lines table, the invoice ID can repeat because a single invoice can have multiple line items. For example, if a customer purchases multiple items or takes several services in one invoice, each item or service will be listed as a separate line with the same invoice ID. So one invoice ID can appear multiple times in the invoice line table. Means one customer can buy two things. For example, here we can see customer ID is repeating, and invoice ID can also repeat. So we have some columns here: invoice ID, customer ID, invoice line ID. Invoice line ID will be unique in this table, and invoice ID can be repeated. Item code, item ID, item description. Item description means the item that has sold. Here we have this HP laptop, iPhone 13. Line amount is the individual amount for the products. COGS, profit percent, quantity, unit cost, and description of the product. Next we have receipt table. This table tracks the payment customer make to pay off their invoices. Customer ID, customer name, receipt ID, receipt amount is the amount received from the customer, creation date, receipt date means the date when customer paid the invoice, the status is cleared or reversed. Next we have applied receipt, means this table shows which payments were applied to which invoice, so you know which invoice has been paid. Okay, so this receipt number is for this invoice ID, means the payment the customer made is for the specific invoice ID. Hope you understand. We have invoice type, amount, customer name, customer ID, and some more column, applied receipt ID. So these are the tables in the data set. You can read all the description of the table from here. Now we have next step to join all the tables. So we have the joins. This is the fact table invoice header, and it is joined to customer table by customer ID. It means we can see the particular customer name and customer details by connecting this to table from customer ID. We have invoice lines table which is connected to invoice header by invoice ID, and applied receipt table is connected to invoice ID with applied invoice ID, and applied receipt table and receipt table are connected by this receipt ID and applied receipt ID. So these are the join. You have to join them in model view. Here we have to create the dashboard like this. So we will see how to create this dashboard. You can check the dashboard from our demo dashboards page. So let's jump to Power BI and see how we can create this receivable dashboard. So first you have to select file and a blank report, and you have to select the get data Excel workbook and open the receivable data set, check the tables and load them into Power BI. So here after loading we are getting some errors, so view the errors. Okay, so we have some, here we have the errors. So what we can do for that, Power BI already applied some steps which are not needed in this data set, so we will just simply remove the steps, so we will not get any errors. It has added the index column, but we don't need that. And here we have to remove these steps also. You can also remove the unnecessary column that you don't need while creating the dashboard. So if we will close and apply, okay, so now we are not getting any errors. Here we have this data. I'll show you how I loaded. First, select the blank report, then click on this get data, choose this Excel workbook, choose this receivable data and click on open. Then choose all the table in navigator window and click on load. Here we are in the model view. We will check all the joins. Here we have this invoice line connected to invoice header by invoice ID already, and we will drag the applied receipt ID from applied receipt table and connect it with invoice number, and make sure to select both from here and make this relationship active. Check this box and click on save. We have this customer table, so we can drag customer ID from here and select customer ID in the invoice header table. Save. Choose the receipt ID. And join it on applied receipt ID and save. So we have successfully joined all the columns, all the tables. Now let's start creating the dashboard. First, save this file. Give it a name. So let's insert a text box for the heading. Change the color. Select this text box and change the background color with this code. So you can also copy this code from here and can change the color, text color to white to see the dashboard name clearly, and you can also bold the text. Okay. Okay, so we have receivable dashboard. We have some slicers here to filter the dashboard, customer name, invoice type, sales person. Let's just create. We can bring the text box. Or we can simply choose a slicer and drag customer name. Select the customer name. Okay. In the slicer setting, use the style as drop down. So we can see all the customer name here in the drop down. Okay, and change the title of the slicer header to bold and you can copy this slicer. Press Ctrl V, place this here and just change the field to invoice type. Close this and change the field to invoice type. Ctrl V, and we have salesperson. Again, Ctrl V. Remove item code. We will get the item code from invoice line. So we have created all the 4 slicers. Now we have other slicers of year and quarter. We can decrease this a bit. Okay, let's select another slicer and place it here. We have invoice date. To select invoice date, right click and choose date hierarchy. So you will get year, quarter and month. So cross the year, quarter, month and day and only choose the year. And in the format, change the slicer setting to tile. So we will get the years in the tile. Okay, and slicer header, we can bold it. We can also increase its size 15. We can just turn off this and turn on this title in general settings and give it title here. Select heading 2, bold, and we have here. We can decrease the font size to 12. Now we are getting the year slicer, quarter slicer. Again select invoice date, and this time quarter. In the slicer setting to drop down. Here we have this quarter. We can decrease its width and increase year slicer width. Okay, so we have created the slicers. We have this month slicer also. We will take the slicer, or we can just simply copy this slicer, right click and Control V. Place it here. Right click, choose invoice date. Again right click, date hierarchy, and this time we will cross year, quarter, day. Just increase its width and change the title to month. So we have created this month slicer also. Now we have these two KPIs, invoice amount and in amount due. To gain the, we create KPIs to gain the attention of user. So invoice amount and amount due are the crucial fields. So we are creating the KPIs for them. We will choose the card visual. And from invoice header, choose this amount field. This is the invoice amount. Now it is showing in the million. So this format pane, call out value, choose the display units none. You will get the complete value. You can decrease the font size to 20. Okay. And we'll turn off this category label. And we will turn on the title and give it a title as invoice. We'll change the color of text. Invoice amount. And we will bold this. Yeah. It's looking similar to that. And increase the font size to 15. And always remember to remove the decimal places. So click on this amount here and 0. So we want to see the 0 decimal places and comma separated values. Here we have this, and we'll give it a border, general, effects, and visual border, turn on. And next we have amount due. So again a card visual. And this time we will select this due amount. And we can, if we want to design this KPI like this, so without wasting the time, we can just simply click here, use this visual, click on this format painter and just click here. We will get the same formatting like this. And if we give it a title as amount due, we will get the same formatting like this. We can add other formatting like shadow and all from this effects to make your KPI more attractive. Have this KPIs. Now we will start creating the charts. The first chart that we have is due amount by salesperson. We have this clustered bar chart. So check this due amount by salesperson. So Power BI is smart enough to put the correct field in the correct column. Adjust the size according to you. We can change the formatting of the page, canvas background. We can give it a different color like this. Transparency. So we can see all the slides properly. Just turn on the data labels and in the value section choose the display units none. So and choose the position as outside the end. Also for due amount, select here and choose the decimal places 0 because we are getting so much decimal places. Yes. So you will get comma separated value here and here also. Always reconcile the values. Check the values that are coming right or wrong. 4709 606 060. So we are right. And change the bar color with this color code. So you can also copy the color code from here. And we will change the title in general. Amount, due amount by salesperson. So let's just bold this heading. You can also promote this heading too, and you can just remove the y-axis value title, this salesperson, to turn off. You can't see the title of y-axis, and you can also do the same for x-axis. Turn off this title. So we have successfully created our first visual, that is due amount by salesperson. Okay, here we have, if we go to this link, we can see that we can toggle between two visuals. We click here, we can see this. So we will achieve this functionality by using the bookmarks. So let's see how we can create this toggle effect by bookmarks. Next visual, we have due amount as per invoice year. So for that, first we have to hide this visual from this view panel. We will choose this selection and we will hide this. Okay, so we can't see this visual now. Okay, so create this visual, that is due amount as per invoice year. Place it here. Due amount as per invoice year. Select this invoice date. Cross this quarter, month, and day. We have this invoice date year. The format pane. You can change the color of the slices. You can change the tone. You have to select the color in the blue shade. 2020. You can select a darker shade. So we can see the invoice and always reconcile the values. So the data labels, values, display units will be none. So we have this 2020 value 11792. Okay, so here it is showing the values in millions, so we can also show the values in millions by display units million. We have this 12 million and 83.84% is right. You can specify the position inside. this. Okay, and change the title to due amount as per invoice year. Okay, so we have created this second visual successfully. Now we will see how we can achieve the toggle effect by using bookmark. So for that, select this bookmark and add the bookmark. Click on add, click the three dots here, choose group. So we have this bookmark. In this group we can rename this bookmark for easy understanding as due due amount as per invoice year. Now in the selection pane, and just hide this due amount as per invoice year and unhide this first visual. Now add another bookmark and drag this here in the group 1 and double click here and change its name to due amount salesperson. So we have created both the bookmarks. Let's see how we will achieve the toggle effect. So just click on this insert tab, buttons, navigator and bookmark navigator. So we will get this bookmark navigator here. We have this, we have the name of both the bookmarks, and in the selection pane we will unhide this visual also. And now we click on this, press and hold control key, and we will click on due amount by salesperson so we can see that visual. We click on due amount as per invoice year. Don't just click, just press and hold control key and then click, so we can see the due amount as per invoice year. That's how we can achieve this toggle effect by using bookmark. We can design this bookmark in format navigator, style, and on selected, when our bookmark is selected, we want the background color or fill as blue. You can see this, and we want the font size 14 and bold. And when we default, we want the font size 12 and bold. Okay, you can check again, press and hold control key. You can see due amount as per invoice year. Okay, so it's working properly. Okay. We have this next toggle of top 10 amount due by customer and all amount due by customer. And we will choose clustered bar chart. Due amount, and this time we have to choose by customer. So we will select the customer name from applied receipt table, customer name. So we can just simply choose customer name from this invoice header also. We have this customer name and we want top 10 customer. So we will select this filter and we want top N filtering, top 10 customer. You can choose the bottom, but this time we want top 10 customer by due amount. So we will drag this due amount here and click on apply filter. We will turn on the data labels so we can see that if we are getting the proper result or not. Use the display unit as none. So we have the value 403355. We are getting wrong value. If we choose customer name from applied receipt table, let's check our join. Okay, so we have done a small mistake. We have joined these tables on invoice number, but we have to join them on invoice ID. So we will change that to invoice ID and always choose this cross filter direction to both. So we can filter the data from both directions. Make this relationship active, check this box and save. We will close this and again choose the customer name and we will choose top 10 customer name by amount. Okay, clear this filter, close this, and now we will apply filter. Drive due amount, apply filter. Why we are not getting the proper result? Oh, okay. Properties. We have to choose applied invoice ID and invoice ID. Joins are the crucial part. You have to make sure that the joins are correct and proper. You can see we are getting proper chart and we will position the data labels position outside the end. And for the formatting that we have applied on this chart, we want same formatting, so we will click on this chart, home, and click on this format painter. Just click on this chart, so we will get the same formatting. We will just change the title. Top 10 due amount by customer. So we have created this chart, and again we will hide this chart in the selection pane and create other chart that is all amount due by customer. Or what we can do, delete this and unhide this. Right click, click on copy visual, then unhide this, Control V, and this time we want all customer, means we don't need any filter, so we'll click on this clear filter. So we will get the due amount by all customer, and just change the title. So this is the shortcut, create the charts, all amount due by customer. So that's how we quickly created the chart. Okay. Now just add a bookmark and click on the three dots, group. So we have this bookmark in the group 2. Rename this as all amount or due amount by customer. And in the selection pane, hide this chart and unhide this top 10 due amount and add another bookmark for that. Drag that bookmark in group 2. Double click here, top 10 due amount by customer. Just so we have both the bookmarks here, and now for that click here, because we only want to see 2 bookmarks here. So in the bookmarks, choose group 1. So we will get the bookmark for only group 1, and here we can insert another bookmark navigator for this, and again in the bookmarks choose group 2. And to format this bookmark navigator like this, you have to just simply click here, home tab, format painter, and click here. So you will get the same formatting, but this time for you will get same formatting and same group for this. So you have to again choose group 2 and check the bookmark whether it is working properly. Yes, it is working properly. Okay, both are working properly. Now we have the table and top 10 invoice by amount. So we will create this table which is showing year, invoice amount and due amount. And you can also check the purpose of all the charts. In this chart, we will try to see or try to monitor the due amount by salesperson. We will get the information about the salesperson's performance, that the salesperson is doing, what a salesperson is doing to get the payments from the customer, and due amount as per invoice year. So we are checking that what is the proportion of due amount as per invoice year. And we have this top 10 amount due by customer. What is the top 10 amount by customer and all amount due by customer. Amount due means the remaining amount which a customer has to pay. So here we have this table showing year, invoice amount and due amount. So we will get the idea of in which month we have what invoice amount and what due amount. So we will increase the width or the height of this page, and for that click outside the chart and you can in the visualization, format painter, canvas background or canvas setting type, you will choose custom and you will give a custom height. So we will give it a height of 1380. So we will get most of the height. Okay, we will zoom out the page, zoom in the page. We can increase the height of the charts. Okay, now let's drag the table, and in the table first select invoice date, cross this day and quarter because we only want to see the year and month, and we have, or we will choose the matrix to show the this drill down effect. If we will, we can drill up and drill down also, and for that we will choose a matrix for this effect. You can see the year in row, and now we have invoice amount and due amount. Okay, if we will click this plus sign, we will get the complete value. We can increase the width of the columns. Okay, increase the height. You can also increase the column header font size to see the values properly. 14, and change the text color as blue. And background color as blue. Okay, we have text color as white. And choose value, and we can change the alternate color. So alternate background color, we want a pinkish shade. Okay, so we can see it is looking similar to this. Okay, and we will change the column headers. So to change the column headers, you just have to double click here, invoice amount, due amount. So we can see we have created table similar to this table. Okay, you can decrease the column headers, or you can format this to create the same look like this. Now we have this top 10 invoice amount by customer. By this chart, we can specify that who are our customers with that they are generating our revenue, highest revenue, which customer are generating highest revenue. We can specify that. Display units as none, and we want position outside the end, and we have this top 10. So we will specify a filter that is top 10 by invoice amount. We want top 10 customer by invoice amount. We have 72097. Okay, same value. It is correct. And we want same formatting like this. So we will choose this. Select format printer. Click here. We will get the same formatting. And we will change the title as top 10 invoice amount by customer. We have this top 10 invoice amount by customer. Okay, so we have created our first page successfully. that was our summary page. So we can rename our page by double clicking here, and we will give it a name as summary. And now we will move towards creating our next page, that is invoice details. And to create this page, we can see we have same slicers, filters and everything. So we can just copy this page or just create a duplicate of this page. So we will just right click here and click on duplicate. So we have a duplicate of our summary page, and we will remain all the part here and remove these charts. We will remove this toggle or this bookmark navigator. From this selection pane, as you know that we have hide some charts, so we will unhide them and also delete them, because we have to create new charts and tables for this page. Okay, now see what we have in this page. We have this invoice header table and invoice line details table to see the invoice information in detail. So let's create a table having this customer name, salesperson and all. Select this table from here, increase its size, height and width. First column that we have is customer name, then we have salesperson, then we have customer number, invoice number, customer number, invoice number, status type, invoice date. Status means the pending invoice. Type invoice date, invoice type, invoice date, invoice due date, currency exchange rate, invoice currency, invoice exchange, invoice amount and due amount, invoice amount and due amount. So we have selected all the columns. Now just format them. You can zoom in and zoom out the page from here. We have customer name, salesperson. We don't want sum of customer numbers, so we will right click here and select don't summarize. Again we have invoice number, sum, right click, don't summarize. Now we have this pending invoice column. which is actually status of our invoice. So we will double click here, give it a name as status. Next we have invoice type. We can rename it as type. We have this invoice date. So we have to right click here and choose invoice date, not date hierarchy. Okay. Here we have this invoice due date. We can rename invoice currency as currency, and invoice exchange rate to only exchange rate. Double click here to change sum of amount to invoice amount. And sum of due amount to due amount. Okay. And we don't want the sum of exchange rate, so we will right click here and click on don't summarize. Okay. Okay, so we can increase the width of some columns. And to format this table, we'll choose the summary page. And we have already created a table here, so we'll choose this table. Choose format painter. The second page. Then click. So we get similar formatting. We can decrease the size of column header, font size 12, 10. We select this by getting the table and give it a title as invoice header table. So in general, turn on the title. Invoice header bold. Now let's create our second table, and that is invoice lines detail. So again, or you can just copy this table. Right click here, choose copy visual and control V and place it down here. Okay, and we will change the fields. We will select this general and invoice lines or invoice. And let's change the fields. So we have invoice number, brand, collapse this and let's choose invoice number. So we have invoice number here in this table. So we can replace. Okay, invoice number cross this customer number. Cross all the fields. Choose brand. Sales order number, item code. Sales order number, item code, quantity, unit cost, invoice amount, we have this line amount and COGS, profit percent, and item description. Okay. And just format this. We only want unit cost. So we don't want sum of quantities, so we will click on don't summarize. Unit cost, invoice amount. So we want summarization of all of them. We can change the name of sum of profit to the profit. To change the name, you can double click here into line amount. You can rename invoice amount. We will get all the values. Property, we have created both the tables and just rename this page as invoice details. Double click here, change the name invoice details. This is the second page, and for the page navigation we can add this page navigator. So in the insert, choose buttons, page navigator. We have this page navigator here. We can change the style as selected, or for default font color as white, and we want fill blue. And for status selected, we will use the 14 and bold, and fill color should be blue. Okay, and we will copy. And for hover effect, status hover, so we will choose the fill color as lighter shade of blue. Yes. Okay, so we will copy this by Control C. Here in the invoice details page, we will just Control V. So we have this navigator. Now let's create the third page. So for that, right click here and duplicate. Why we are duplicating the pages? We are duplicating the pages because we want all the slicers and filters same like these two pages. We'll double click here and change the name as receipt details. Details. We can increase the size of this picture. Okay, so we have different KPIs here: receipt amount and receipt amount due. Receipt amount means the amount that we got from customer, that we received from customer. So for that, click here and cross this, and from receipt table we will choose receipt amount. Okay, and we are getting decimal places, so click here and choose 0. And choose the comma. Okay, and change the title of this KPI. Receipt amount. This KPI. Cross this and choose receipt amount due remaining. The title is receipt amount due. receipt amount. We have created the KPIs. Now let's just start creating the charts. So here in this page we have so many bookmarks. Receipt amount by customer. Is receipt amount. What's this? Use customer name. Okay, so we have receipt amount by customer name. In this heading, but we can just delete this because when we create the bookmarks we will get the issues. We will delete this all charts and start creating the charts from scratch. We can use this chart because it is not connected with any bookmark. We will choose this chart and remove this. Choose receipt amount. So we have this receipt amount by customer name. We have a filter applied here, so we'll clear this filter, and now we are getting 1751, which is correct. We'll rename this. We rename that title. Receipt amount by customer. Okay. We have this unapplied amount by customer. We have this unapplied amount by customer. So we will select this visual in the selection pane, view, selection pane. We will hide this visual, that is receipt amount. We have to delete these charts, so unhide this chart, click on delete, and hide this chart and click on delete. Okay, let's create other, that is unapplied amount by customer. Or we can delete this and hide this visual. Just copy this visual and then hide this. You can simply Control V and paste this visual and just change the field to receipt amount due remaining. We can just let's see whether we are getting right value. 39815. Yes, we have 39815. We will change the title general and unapplied amount by customer. So we will select and write unapplied amount by customer. Okay, so this is the unapplied amount by customer. Now we will hide this visual also, and we will create other visual, that is details. It is a table showing customer name, receipt amount and receipt amount due. Okay, so let's use the table. Use the customer name from applied receipt table. Use receipt amount and receipt amount due. Rename this with receipt amount due. Remove some of words. Yes, we have this table here, and increase the size of columns. And for the formatting, you can just simply click here on this table and format painter. And click on this table here. So we have gotten the formatting without any efforts. Okay, so we have this details table here. Now let's start creating the bookmarks. And for that, we have this details table, so we can rename the visual. We don't want the heading here, so we can just put title. Okay, now just open the bookmark in window, click on add and choose group 3. Okay, rename this bookmark as details. We have created bookmark. Now we will hide this visual and hide the second visual. Now add a bookmark. Just drag this here, rename it as unhide. And just hide this visual. The first visual, click on add, drag this bookmark in the group 3, write receipt among the customer. Okay, so we have successfully created all the 3 bookmarks. Now let's test them. So insert a bookmark navigator. Bookmark navigator. We have this bookmark navigator, and we will, for formatting, we will choose this already created bookmark, home, format painter, and just click here. So we have this formatting, and in the bookmarks we will choose group. Okay, so first just press and hold Control key and click on this receipt amount by customer, and again is an applied amount by customer. details. So all the bookmarks are working correctly. So we have created this section successfully. Now we have this receipt amount by receipt class and unapplied amount. Okay. So in this time, I will create the charts, but you have to create the bookmarks by yourself because I have already taught you how to create the bookmarks. So we will receipt amount by receipt class, amount by receipt class. Okay, we have this receipt amount by receipt class. For formatting, we will choose this and format pin and click here. Okay, we have this direct, check, cash, and post dated. To select this visual and filters, receipt class, and deselect the stash. And okay, and select this visual. Data labels, you can change the display units to none. You can also change the heading like this, the title. Now we have this unapplied amount by receipt class. So unhide this. Unapplied amount by receipt class. And this time also in the filter, remove this dash. Deselect this. And use this. Select on format printer. Same formatting for this. Okay, so we have created all both the charts successfully. It is your task to add the bookmarks. Now let's move towards another group of charts, that is receipt amount by year. So receipt amount by year. For that we will choose clustered column chart. Okay. Always click outside the visual and then select a new chart, that is clustered column chart. And this is for receipt amount by year. Receipt date, select this receipt date. Cross this quarter, month, and day. So we will get years. And in the format, click here and choose format printer. Click here. And in the settings, for x-axis, we will choose this categorical to see all the years. And we will change the data labels to value to display units, thousands or million. Yes. So we have created this chart also. You have to change the title. Next up we have unapplied amount by year. So select this at the selection pane, hide this visual, and then choose this clustered bar chart, and again and receipt date. Click here, format printer, formatting. Then hide this visual. You have to, it is your task to see the purpose of all the charts. You can Google or search on ChatGPT that the purpose of all these charts, that why a sales manager or sales team use this dashboard or the particular charts. So here we have this details table. In that we have here receipt amount, receipt amount, receipt amount due, and year, year. So we will replace like this and right click here and choose, or we can just cross this and year. And in the invoice details table, click here, format painter, click here to achieve the same functionality here. Click here and rename this, or it is your task to rename all of the charts. Okay, we have created this book group of chart. Now we have this receipt details table that you will create. Like we have created this invoice details table, you have to just drag this table and drag all the columns from receipt details table. So hope you understand how to create this complete dashboard. Now we have this clear filter button which will clear all the filters. So for that, in the insert, we will choose this button. We will select a blank button. Here we have this blank button, and in action we will turn off this, and type we will choose clear all slicers, and in style you can style it as font color white, and you can rename it as clear filter. Rename it as clear filter. So what it will do, it will just clear all the slicer. For example, if we select this year here or this month, if we select this month and click press and hold control key and click here, so it will clear all the slicers. So hope you understand the receivable dashboard, and try to create it by yourself and create all the bookmarks, and try to search on ChatGPT or on Google that what is the purpose of all the charts and why a sales manager need this. So thank you.